Hello everyone, good evening. Welcome to yet another session of Kerala Set Revision. So, due to the flood and all and the heavy rainfall, the Kerala Set exam was postponed. It was on August 2, but it was postponed. So, maybe like we don't know the exact date now. So, we thought of doing the Kerala Set Revision this week also in the YouTube. So, that will benefit you. You can learn this week also. So, utilize the maximum time for learning. Okay. So can we go on to the today's session? Today I have planned something regarding with the paper one, as you already know. Every time I come with paper one topic. So here today I'm going to discuss you some of the questions from the Education Commission. See, education commissions are all very important topics in teaching aptitude topics unit. Definitely, you'll have questions from the education commissions as NEP 2020 is very popular or familiar popular these days. We can have questions if you check the eligibility test exams in NET, SET, or any state eligibility test. They will have questions from the commissions, and definitely not from the NEP. They can even compare previous educational policies and education commissions too, and then ask questions from that. So I thought of taking education commissions and then asking questions or maybe like discussing questions on that. So are you already on the YouTube babies? Are you all ready? Can I have the answers from the chat box? Ready? Right? Can I move with the first question? Yeah. The first one, it's all simple questions. You can just revise or recollect the things. Just read extra about all those topics being discussed here, right? University Education Commission 1948-49 was chaired by who? So there will be commissions. You have different education commissions, and these commissions are all ad hoc committees. Ad hoc means a temporary committee where they work for the government. Government is appointing the ad hoc committees where they work for a specific period and then end their tenure. Probably 1 to 2 years they work maybe according to the task given to them. So and then that will be headed by or chaired by some of the popular familiar persons or maybe like expert persons in that relevant field. So the University Education Commission was chaired by Dr. S. Radhakrishnan. It's also called Radhakrishnan Commission. The first education commission after the independence. That is in independent India. This was the first commission. That was in 1948-49. That is University Education Commission chaired by Dr. S. Radhakrishnan. The next question. The Secondary Education Commission, which emphasized diverse curricula and guidance, was chaired by who? So we have got several informations in the question itself. Secondary Education Commission was from 1952 to 53, and it emphasized diverse curricula and guidance. Okay, so these are the informations that you can get even from the questions itself. And who chaired that Secondary Education Commission? It was known by that person's name also. It was a very popular or famous commission that we in independent India after University Education Commission. Yes, I'm waiting for your answers, guys. Yeah, the answer is Lakshman Swami Mudaliar. It's also known as Mudaliar Commission. So that is why Lakshman Swami Mudaliar chaired the Secondary Education Commission. It was primarily focusing on the secondary education, shortcomings of the secondary education in India. The Education Commission 1964-66, which examined all stages of education and proposed a comprehensive overhaul, is popularly known as DASH. So there comes another commission in 64 and 66, a very famous and very important commission in the educational aspect of India. 1964-66, you know that who chaired that. So that the name of that commission is known by the chairman of that commission. So it had a no, it proposed comprehensive overhaul. As I told you, the 1948 commission was on the university education. The 1952 commission was on the secondary education, but the 1964, the next commission came on all stages, examining all stages of education from primary level to the university level. So that was Kothari Commission. D.S. Kothari, Daulat Singh Kothari was the chairman. So DS Kothari Commission, or it is called Kothari Commission. Next one. The recommendation that public expenditure on education be progressively raised to 6% of GDP is associated with which of the commissions? That means the public expenditure on education should be raised of the 6% of GDP of India. Was it Radhakrishnan Commission, Mudaliar Commission, Justice Verma Commission, or Kothari Commission? Yes, it's in Kothari Commission, and it was suggested in Kothari Commission. Definitely, it was accepted in National Policy of Education 1968. We had three policies till now. NPE, that is our NEP 1968 and NEP 1986, and then 2020. Yeah, that is it. So next one. Establishment of the UGC as a statutory body in 1956 drew intellectual support from recommendations of which commission? As you may know, it's UGC is a statutory body. That means it is formed by the rule of the parliament or law of the parliament. So there will be UGC Act. So UGC Act 1953, and then according to the UGC Act 1953, it was established. UGC was established in 1956. So which commission or which commission's recommendations was that? This was the commission. The recommendation was by University Education Commission on 1948. That is S. Radhakrishnan Commission I told you about. That means it was about the university education. The Secondary Education Commission notably advocated. It is already known as Lakshman Sami or Mudaliar Commission. So what the Secondary Education Commission advocated for? Abolishing vocational education? Definitely not. Only Indian languages in schools, multi-purpose schools, diversified courses in guidance and counseling, linking degree to jobs. So, see, a very easy one. When you read the question itself, you'll get the answer. The answer is multi-purpose schools, diversified courses in guidance and counseling. Next one, the University Education Commission gave special attention to what? School curriculum load, aims of university education, teacher quality, research, teaching link, examinations, only teacher education regulation, only distance education. Yes. University Education Commission gave special attention to. Obviously, that is option 2, aims of university education, teacher quality, research, teaching link, and examinations. Next one. 3-language formula. So it's a very important suggestion was given by a commission of 3-language formulas. Till now, we follow this 3-language formula. In school education received strong national impetus through which commission? Radhakrishnan, Kothari, Justice Verma, or National Knowledge Commission. NKC is also very important. Just read more about NKC. That's very important commission, National Knowledge Commission. So 3-language formula was introduced or suggested by Kothari Commission. That is, at least in the school days, we need to learn 3-language, regional language, the mother tongue, and obviously another foreign language. The National Knowledge Commission 2005-9, chaired by Sam Petroda. So Sam Petroda was the chairman of that National Knowledge Commission from 2005 to 9. They worked for 5 years, near to 5 years. And what they focused on? Did they focus on school education or knowledge infrastructure, higher education expansion, libraries, broadband, vocational education, exam reforms, only teacher education regulation? No, it's not only. They had a holistic development on all those things on knowledge infrastructure, where they dealt with all those higher education ideas, vocational education, exam reforms even. So that was chaired by Sam Petroda. Several informations from one question. Read more about it. It's very important. Which body recommended creating an independent regulatory authority for higher education and major regulatory reforms? Which body recommended creating an independent regulatory authority for higher education and major regulatory reform? The answer is National Knowledge Commission only. It's chaired by Sam Petroda in 2005 to 9. Yeah. The Justice J.S. Verma Commission 2012 to 13 set up overhaul teacher education recommended among others. So Justice Verma Commission, J.S. Verma Commission was for the teacher education reforms, and it was in 2012 to 13 recently. So what was that J.S. Verma Commission? It is strengthening the NCT, that is National Council for Teacher Education, Racing program duration, quality, and tighter TEA norms. So that was what after we had a 1 year beard and all. So, and maybe integrated beard soon coming to all universities and states. The commission whose recommendations strongly influenced the national policy on education in 1968 was. Definitely can think the age, sorry, the year, then you'll get the idea that which influenced NPE or NEP. Definitely that is Kothari Commission because Kothari Commission was on 1964 to 66. So that was the recommendations which strongly influenced NPE in 1968, right? The earliest post-independence commission to critically appraise university examination systems and advocate reform toward more valid assessment was it Radhakrishnan Commission, Mudaliar Commission, Kothari Commission, Justice Verma Commission? The earliest post-independent commission to critically appraise university examination. Definitely, you know that which commission was for university? It was the Radhakrishnan Commission. So the answer is Radhakrishnan Commission. Vocationalization at the higher secondary stage to reduce academic vocational hierarchies to improve employability is the hallmark of which one? Mudaliar, Kothari, Justice Verma, or National Knowledge Commission? See, higher secondary, which is the commission that was responsible for the secondary education, that was Mudaliar Commission. Or it is also known as Secondary Education Commission. So definitely Mudaliar Commission is the answer here. Which commission put guidance and counseling squarely on the secondary school agenda alongside co-curriculars in the house system? Again, read the question, you will get the answer from that itself. See, going with the secondary system, secondary education system again. That's also Mudaliar Commission is the right answer. The first national policy on education in independent India was announced in. See, we had many pre-independent educational commissions like important like Woods Dispatch, Macaulay Minutes, and Hunter Commission, and then Sergeant Report, all those things. Just before the independence in 1944, we had Sergeant Report too. But what was the first national policy on education in independent India? It was on 1968. And then comes on 1986. And after 34 years, we had 2020, we had NEP. NEP 2020, that is the latest one. The policy that launched Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalayas for rural talented children is, so Navodaya Vidyalayas, from which of the educational policies suggestions was that? So it was the suggestion of 1986 policy. See, you can see a option called 3 POA 1992. See, NP 1986 suggested the implementation of Navodaya Vidyalayas. It is a residential schools that you already know Navodaya Vidyalayas about. And these 1986 policies or the recommendations was established or enacted by the government through a plan of action called Plan of Action 1992. Okay, so that is what POA, Plan of Action 1992. Operation Blackboard, it is an suggestion given by the National Education Policy to improve the infrastructural facilities in primary schools, like maybe like Blackboard or basic infrastructural facilities like building or maybe benches, desks, like that. That is why it is called Operation Blackboard. Which is that Operation Blackboard is linked to? It is on 1986 NEP. Okay, 1986 National Education Policy was linked to Operation Blackboard. The policy that expanded ECC, Early Childhood Care and Education, as an integral part of education reform, and which was the national education policy on that. It was a 1986 policy only. So you got many recommendations by 1986 policy because Operation Blackboard, you got ECC extension. So that is what. And according to, so 1986 was implemented through a plan of action called POA 1992. See, all those things are extra knowledge that you got from 1986 policy. The school curricular pedagogic restructuring into 5+3+3+4. See, you got the stages also, the foundational stage of first 5 years, then the preparatory stage of 3 years, middle stage of 3 years, and then secondary stage. Obviously, it belongs to NEP 2020. Read more about NEP 2020. Definitely can have a question from 2020 NEP. It's very important. So the previous existing pedagogic structure was 10+2+3. Now it is 5+3+3+4. That is it. NEP 2020 proposes that mother tongue be the medium of instruction at least till grade 5, preferably till grade 8. This is it mentioned correct or only for private schools, mandatory nationwide by law? Obviously, it is correct. It is mentioned or it is suggested by the NEP. NEP 2000 sets a target of GER, that is gross enrollment ratio. That means what all, maybe like for example, imagine that there are 20,000 people, or maybe like 1 lakh people is eligible for the higher education, and then only 20,000 people or 30,000 people enroll. So just the 30% of its enrollment ratio. Now in India, the higher education enrollment ratio is near to 30%, near to. And NDP has suggested that it should increase to a certain target. So it is by 50% by 2035. See, on all other aspects, the target set by NEP was on 2030. But only for GR, it is by 2035, and that is by 50%. NEP 2020 envisages an umbrella HEC, that means Higher Education Council for India, with 4 verticals, that is NEHRC, that is, you have General Education Council, National Accreditation Council, funding purpose, and also they suggested, NEP suggested a Higher Education Council for India, umbrella term with 4 verticals. What is its purpose? Obviously, regulations, the tight regulations, funding, accreditation, academic standards in higher education. That is the purpose. That's it. The proposed National Research Foundation, that is, NEP suggested a National Research Foundation too. Under 2020, NEP aims for what? Regulate exams, fund and seed research across disciplines and institutions. Definitely that. That is the answer. Fund and seed research across disciplines and institutions. Yeah, it's actually NEP 2020 is establishing a national assessment center, that is PARAC, Performance Assessment and Review Analysis for Knowledge and Holistic Development. PARAC. So it's a performance assessment review system where, so what is that for? It is to set norms, guide student assessment for school education, promoting competency-based assessments like that. See, yes. NEP 2020 recommends that teacher education shift to a 4-year integrated B.Ed as the minimum professional degree by at what, which is the year. I've already told that NEP 2020 on all aspects the finishing or the target year is 2030 only except GER. GER was in 2035. Which policy most explicitly linked education to national development, social cohesion, and removal of disparities as a unifying framework? The National Education Policy 1968, 2005 NCF. National Curriculum Framework is also very important, and also you need to study about Kerala Curriculum Framework when you study about Kerala set. It's 1968 National Policy on Education. Yes. Guys, that was a marathon run on commissions. I think you got some of the ideas on the commissions, basically post-independent commissions. Just read about all these. Extra reading is very mandatory.